offering to you. I want to express my gratitude to you. Please shower me. And she will just overflow and fulfill me. This is the first offering. The next offering one. The next offering is the offering of Sankalpa. Have conscious resolution in our lives. We may want to manifest. In 2021, many of you would have taken resolutions, right? I want to manifest a business to maybe become my own boss by the end of this year, or I want to get married this year, or I want to give birth to a child by this year. Each of us have different goals, different resolutions that we want to manifest. Sankalpa is where you take conscious resolution in the presence of Devi Parashakti with the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff. You see, when you offer the in front of the deity of Devi Parashakti as they offer the ritual to her. And that conscious resolution is taken in the presence of the deity during the rituals by the priests, the Bhalasans, and the Nityananda yogis who are power manifestors, who are in the space of oneness with Swamiji. What this does is any resolution that you take, any you manifest, resolution is something all those benefits will die come,
and especially because it's the avatar himself who's accepting in the form, like Parashakti is coming through the avatar and accepting. It's extremely powerful. See, the next offering that we have, you could go to the next slide. Huh? The next offering that we have is the Sahasranama Kasa, the Swarna Sahasranama, the Swarna Kasa, that where each dimension of Parashakti is mentioned in that. Sahasranama Swarna Kasa. Nama Parayana. She who likes a repetition of her various names. This can also be translated as various dimensions. So cherishing the different dimensions of Parashakti in your life is what literally this offering is, where you cherish, celebrate her different dimensions and offer it at her feet. Next slide, please. You can go to the next slide. No? The next is the Mukta Anguti, finger ring with a pearl. Muktaharalasat kiritaruchiram purnendu vatra prabhara kinkini manidharam padma prabhabhasuram sarvabhishtabala pradam girisutam vani rama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaranidhim. Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaranidhim. Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaranidhim. I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls, and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gems, and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of mountain, who is worshipped by goddess Vani and Rama. I remain never bowing to goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. I remain ever bowing to goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. There's a very beautiful description of Devi Parashakti. Offer the Anguti, finger ring with a pearl, to experience an ocean-like compassion of Parashakti. Next slide, please. You could go to the first slides, huh? The next is the Swarna Padma Pushpam. The
Lotus flower. All of you can actually leave it in the comments now. Like, how many of you feel whenever you see any god, they have either lotus flower in their hand? Name a few gods that you are able to remember of who have lotus, whether it is they're holding in the hand or whether it is in their navel like Mahavishnu, or they're sitting on the lotus like Mahalakshmi. You all can name a few gods who have who either sit on a lotus or hold a lotus, with whom you see the lotus associated with. Literally, if you see, you can name so many gods.
Even like Paramashiva, he's a Shweta Kamalasana Sadashiva Swarupam.
Exactly. And even whether it is even Ganesha, he holds a lotus in his hand. Like every
even god, Devi, literally. Parashakti, the one who resides on who resides in the heart of Venkateshwara, even she is called as Padmavati. So the lotus flower, the Padma Pushpa, is of extreme significance in Hinduism.
So gold, which is extremely sacred element, and lotus, which is again a very, very auspicious flower with a lot of significance, together as Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus. So go ahead and you can make this offering at tiny.cc/Devi-offerings. Next slide, please. So you could go to the next slide, huh? The next offering is Swarna Metti. Nakaditi sanjanna namajanna tamoguna padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha. You whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance, from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. Actually, this Swarna Metti is a beautiful offering. How many of you have noticed many married Hindu women wear the toe ring on their feet? This is actually for protecting their spouse and making sure that their marriage is lasting longer. Swarna Metti, this offering can heal your relationships. So go ahead and make this offering to the Cosmic Mother herself, praying for your relationships to be having completion and fulfillment and stability. So if you're suffering with any kind of relationship issues, you like someone and you're not able to be with them, or you're afraid of losing someone, or you're having a lot of conflicts in your relationship, anything, go ahead and make this offering. The Swarna Metti. This is only 750 USD. Next, please.
The next offering that we all have, go to the next slide. Yes. You can go to the next slide. The next offering. It is a Swarna Mang Tika, the golden hairline jewelry.
It is a beautiful Devi is known as Sudha Suryabhivarshini. When the Sahasrara Chakra, the topmost chakra, when that flowers, it is said to release nectar in the entire nervous system, making you immortal. That is why all the traditions in Sanatani Dharma are focused on awakening that Kundalini Shakti so it can reach the Sahasrara and you can get enlightened. So Devi is known as Sudha Surabhivarshini, that making that nectar from Sahasrara flow into all your nerves. So the Swarna Mang Tika, the hairline jewelry, something similar to what she's wearing. So this Swarna Mang Tika is what is a representation of this nectar flowing from your Sahasrara chakra. So such a beautiful offering, and I never used this significance for the Mang Tika. So now you all can make this offering out of your deep gratitude.
Actually, every viewer that are watching us, as you're listening to us share about it, maybe you may connect to any of these. It may not be necessary you have to relate with everything, but there are each and every one of us. Some of us may really want to, adorn Devi with a beautiful finger ring made of pearl, or we may want to offer her a beautiful, hairline jewelry. Each of us may connect with any of these offerings. You all can post here in the YouTube comment section, in the chat section, which one do you connect the most with? Which one would you want to enjoy seeing Devi wear? Is it the Gupta Anguti, the pearl, or you want to see her with a golden lotus, or do you want to see her with a beautiful hairline jewelry? Whichever offering that you would like to adorn Devi with, you can share that in the comment section as you're watching us. Yes, now let's do the next offering, please, ma'am. Each of these offerings is going to be directly offered to Parashakti, who is every day coming just for us through the Nija Avatara, the embodied Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Shri Nityananda Parameshivam. Next slide, please, ma'am. The next is the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. It's a very beautiful verse that Adi Shankaracharya sings. He says, Shariram Surupam Tatava Kalatram Yasas Charu Chitram Dhanam Merutulyam Manaschena Latnam Gurorangri Padme Tatakim 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 Tatakim. This is the first verse of Guru Vashtakam, where Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya beautifully reveals. He says, you can have good, good physical body, you can have beauty, and you can have a very beautiful looking wife, you can have a wealth piled up as big as Mount Meru. But if in your inner space, you do not remember Guru and you're not able to relish Guru out of that gratitude, then of what use is all this? What use? What use? Tatakim, 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 tatakim. What use is all this? What use, and what use? Now, Adi Shankaracharya, an enlightened being, an incarnation, beautifully, he reveals the most important thing that a man needs to have is the ability to experience gratitude and have a guru in his life who will just give that feeling, that beautiful space of awaken that beautiful space of devotion and gratitude in us. Pratyaksha Pada Puja is one of the phenomenal ways through which effortlessly, without you having to move anything, you don't need to do tapas, you don't need to do some great ritual, you don't need to do fire sacrifices, you don't need to do years and years of chanting, nothing. Just sit with the presence of the master. Just sit while he does everything in your inner space and grants you the greatest of boons. Pratyaksha Pada Puja is one of the most effortless ways of connecting with the divine, experiencing the grace and blessings of the divine in your life. So Pratyaksha Pada Puja is one of the most profound offering. Anybody that wants to experience that space of gratitude, you all can go ahead and offer the Pratyaksha Pada Puja. The next slide, ma'am. The next is the Vastra Seva. Vastra Seva is the offering of Vastram, the clothes to Devi Parashakti. You can adorn Devi Parashakti with the Vastra, and that will bestow you with the blessings, grace, and protection of Devi Parashakti. She will remove you from any Maya or delusion that you are stuck with. Now, let us enter into seeing how you can make these offerings. Many of you might have connected any one of these offerings, or you would want to offer, you want to experience. So now we will guide you through how you can make these offerings. Please go to the next slide, ma'am. So now we would actually like to first show you the total of all the offerings so far, and you can choose any one that you want to offer. The beginning from E Hundi, which is any amount that you would want to offer. We have a multi-currency option as well. Then there's Sankalpa chanting, and which is for $1. And we have the Devi Sahasranama Swarna Kasir, which you can, which is also there, which is where the different names of Devi is inscribed on a gold coin. Then we have the Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring. Then the Swarna Padma Pushpam, the golden lotus flower. Swarna Meti, the golden lotus, the golden touring for Devi Parashakti. And then we have the Swarna Mangtika, which is a gold hairline jewelry. And Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is where you offer your gratitude to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and be bestowed with greatest of boons. And the next is the Vastra Seva, where you offer the dress to Devi Parashakti.
So these are the different offerings. Now let's see how to enter into this offerings. There are two things. One is, if you are having the intention to manifest something, you want to make an offering, you have some doubts, something, you can reach us in tiny.cc/bhavasamadhi. I repeat, tiny.cc/bhavasamadhi. How you can offer? Kindly /Devi-offerings. And once you finish that, you can fill up tiny.cc/sankalp, all your details, whether the birth star, etc., so that the sankalpa can be offered, so that the ritual can be offered for you. So now please, I request the NTV operator to kindly open tiny.cc/Devi-offerings. You can actually open this link, so we can go through step by step of how exactly to make this offering.
Everybody, to stay tuned, we are now going to be taking you all through to a step-by-step process, and we will be guiding you. So if any of you want to make the offering and you want to explore with us as we are guiding you step by step, you will be able to make that offering and register it for yourself. So all of you can open your phone. Please go to your web browser and open tiny.cc/Devi-offerings. You all can go to that link. We are having the interview operator project for us. The link is tiny.cc/Devi-offerings.
Thank you so much. So now we have come to the link. It's not. So now if you could just scroll down a bit, you'll be able to see the offerings. If you could just go down, the offerings would open up. Yes. So you can see the different sevas. There's an option called choose an option. So click that. You will see all the different sevas that are being listed here. So you can choose any. Let's say you're choosing the Swarna Mangtika. Any one of, Pratyaksha Pada Puja. So you can choose Swarna Mangtika. And then now, once you may chosen this offering, you will be able to see, yes. So the 750 USD, the rate will appear. Below that, there is a number button. So you can offer either 1 or 2 based on how many people you want to offer. The next is add to cart. So you need to click the button add to cart. Then once you click that button, you will be redirected to this page.
Now here I will show you all a subtotal of all the offerings that you have chosen. You might even choose multiple offerings that you want to make, and you will see the product, the price, and you will see it will basically take you to your cart and you'll be able to see the options. So you can check that, you can verify the price, the quantity, and the total of it, and you will get a bill. Now, once you get the cart totals and you are sure, you can go ahead and proceed to checkout. So you can click the proceed to checkout button, and that will lead you to the next page where it will take you for the billing address and billing details. So here you can enter all the billing details, and please ensure that you fill all the required fields so that you to complete your registrations comfortably. So you can add all the billing details, including your first name, last name, your email. Go ahead, and once you agree to that, you can give your consent and you can go ahead and place your order. So even in case you want to add credit card or make offerings through card, that is also possible. And once you do that, please go ahead and you can place the order. Towards the bottom right corner of the page, you will see the place the order button. So once you agree to the terms and conditions, you can go ahead and click place the order. The moment you do that, it will confirm, give you a confirmation. Meaning the moment you register yourself, see, the moment you click place the order and you have filled all the details, that means you have registered yourself for the seva. But the moment you do this, your process gets completed with you filling this form as well. So we request everybody to make a note, tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. That is a link.
The moment you finish making the offerings, the registering for the offering, please come to the second link where the Sankalpa names. So this it is basically where you will enter the names of yourself and the family members so that your names can be chanted during the rituals. So you have to give your details, your name, star, nakshatra, everything that you would want to be chanted. You can give it here. So first, you will go ahead and click and give your consent for in the consent form. Then you will add you'll basically be verifying your registration. So you'll be adding your payment details and when you paid, what seva you picked up for. So here you can choose any prayer that you want to have. And also you can have, you will be for whether you're doing for Lingodbhava, Venkateshwara, Kalabhairava, Subramanya, whichever offering that you want to offer for, you will go ahead and choose that. So yes. And here, since this program is Devi Parashakti's Akashic reading, here we'll be choosing Devi Parashakti Akashic reading. And only when you fill all the required fields, it will be leading you to the next page. So please ensure that you fill all the required fields, and then you can go ahead and click the next page. In the next page, it will lead you to a form, to the portal where you can fill your names, the name of your family members that you want the mantra to be chanted for. Now, this is how you can make the offering. Now, let's say you are sitting in some part of the world and you are wanting to make an offering of, you want to just say, you know what is the easiest way sitting here as is? How can I pay, or how can I express my gratitude? There's a simplest way. In just 2 clicks, in creative ways, in different ways, you can express your love, gratitude to Devi Parashakti. So here in YouTube, as you're watching us live right now, in 2 steps, in 2 clicks, you will be able to make the offering. All you will need to do is go to your comment section. You will see a dollar symbol. You will see a dollar symbol in the comment section. You can just click that. It will take you to a window, a pop-up box, where it will show you about 3 options: join, super chat, and super sticker. With join, you will be able to become a member of this channel. And once you join this channel as a member, all premium programs that we offer, which is specifically for the members of this channel. So there's various options, and this is based on the monthly subscription. So there's various options here: Kailasa, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, etc. So based on what you would like to have as your monthly subscription, you can choose any of this option. And once you choose that, go ahead and click the join button. So the moment you hit pop-up window, and you can basically, it will take you where you can enter the card details. You can choose the payment method. So there are 2 options. You can make it through your credit or debit card, or you can add PayPal. So any of these options are fine. And you can choose, let's say, for example, you can choose credit or debit card. So if you choose that as the option, it will take you to the pop-up window where you can enter your details. You can add your card to the YouTube account. So you will have to do this typically only once. So you can just go ahead and add your card. You can add the card. Basically, you can fill your card number and the details of that, and you can go ahead and click save card. So the moment you fill the details and you click save card, it will be saved. And anytime you want to make the offering, it will just be a matter of 1 click. Yes. Now this is the first, and this is a step through which you can join the chat, join as a member. The second is super chat. Super chat is it gives you a range. You can choose from $1 to any amount that you want, the amount that you want to offer, and you can write any special message that you want to offer, any chat that you want to offer, and you will see that, like now, as we are seeing on the screen, you will see a highlighted chat will appear in the comment section when you offer the super chat. So once you chose, let's say right now we are picking up 5 USD. So once you choose this, you can just go ahead and click buy and send button, which will again take you to the pop-up window where you can choose the payment method. You can choose any of this and you can add. So either you can sync your Google account into PayPal, or you can choose credit or debit card. And once you choose and save that option, it will just be a matter of click and you will be able to make the offering. Now, let's say you wanted to do it a little bit more creative and you want to, explore a little bit more. There's another exciting way you can offer, the super sticker. So the super sticker is where we have a set and a range of stickers, each with a tag of a particular amount. So anything, any amount that you want to offer, you can go ahead and choose any of these stickers, and each of them come with a price tag. So you can go ahead and click any of the stickers.
So let's say we choose the thank you sticker here, and that has the price along with us. So the moment you choose this sticker, chat will appear in the comment section. Then once you're sure that's what you want, you can go ahead and click the option to buy and send. And again, it will take you to the pop-up window where you will choose the payment method. You can add your credit or debit card, or you can add the PayPal. And once you do this, it'll buy the super sticker, and you will see it will come in the comment section. So anybody that wants to offer, here in few clicks, we have it ready for you. So go ahead and enjoy these offerings. Enjoy experiencing Devi Parashakti.
Thank you so much. Now you can stop the screen share. Now all of you can. So the next segment, so we have a very, very interesting segment coming ahead, and we're having the path that Devi Parashakti herself has told and revealed to humanity is the only way to save humanity, the only hope for humanity, which is Adi Kailasa. So now let us all get ready to listen from the admins of Adi Kailasa on how are the preparations going on, what is exactly happening, and what does Swamiji have in store for us, so that we not just experience just staying alive healthily, and experiencing superconscious breakthrough. So we welcome Manitya Achalananda Swami and Manitya Pranapriyananda for this segment.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasa, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world.
All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth.
Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to coexist together.
What I mean by the word Kailasa, listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model
multi-layered quarantine care protection centers at the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa. Now, today in this segment, let's see one particular topic, which is the food insecurity issues that the world is facing because of this ongoing pandemic. COVID-19 is creating a hunger catastrophe in India. The pandemic has led to increase in global food insecurity, affecting vulnerable households in almost every country. It has exacerbated existing inequalities, pushing the millions of people into the vicious cycle of economic stagnation, loss of livelihood, and worsening the food insecurity. The World Bank estimates that 71 million people will be pushed into extreme poverty across the globe as the result of the pandemic. The World Food Program estimates that an additional 130 million people could fall into the category of food insecure over and above 820 million people who were classified as such by 2019, the State of Food Insecurity in the World report. Hunger in plain sight, COVID-19 worsens the plight of food insecurity. More than 50 million people have experienced food insecurity during the pandemic, up to 35 million in 2019. And along with that, child malnutrition and hunger skyrocket in Haiti as COVID-19 infections spike. At least 86,000 children are at risk of developing severe acute child malnutrition this year in Haiti, according to the sources from United Nations Children's Fund. The number of children projected to suffer from starvation this year has doubled as the impoverished nation continues to grapple with extraordinary political and social crisis by the pandemic. The refugees are paying the highest price in COVID-19 pandemic. The vulnerable groups such as refugees are paying the highest price in this pandemic. We are seeing alarming trends that show many refugees around the world are unable to pay for food or rent and are struggling to access the healthcare and education. Prices hike in local markets and further displacement caused by the camp fires have pushed many families further into food insecurity. During May and April, around 30,000 refugees in Cox's Bazar camps raised questions seeking services, including urgent food relief and shelter. Just over one-third requested health or medical care. Next, we have famine risk spikes amidst conflict, COVID-19 and funding gaps. The number of people who are on the brink of famine has risen from 34 million to 41 million. Without immediate emergency food assistance, they too face starvation as a slightest shock, which will push them over the cliff into the famine conditions. The World Bank releases reports on growing food insecurity. The World Bank released an analysis on the May 20th, stated that the COVID-19 impacts have led to severe and widespread increase in global food insecurity, affecting vulnerable households in almost every country, with the impacts expected to continue through 2021 and into 2022. The World Economic Forum stated that 155 million people are caught up in food crisis of varying severity. 133,000 people in Burkina Faso, South Sudan, and Yemen are mostly at risk. 10 countries account for two-thirds of those facing the acute hunger. The resilience of agri-food-based systems is being eroded by conflict, insecurity, and economic trends. We are seeing how the world is suffering, especially with the food insecurity issues. So many millions of lives are at danger, are at risk. Here we have the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has opened the de facto embassies of Kailasa to the world, especially to protect themselves from ongoing pandemic. These spiritual de facto embassies offer free food, free accommodation, and free internet services to each and every person who's coming here to help themselves from COVID-19. So you can register yourself through the link below, which is kailasa.org/Kailasa Care, KAILASA.org/KAILASA CARE. Let's have a short break while you register yourself in Kailasa.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support.
Nityananda Paramashivoham
Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
You become what you eat. What you eat contributes to what you think, and what you think contributes to what you cognize. What you cognize contributes to who you are. So, what you directly affects who you are. So, what you cognize contributes to who you are. So, what you eat directly affects who you are, and that is why I'm making the statement you become what you eat. What is in your plate matters because that is what going to become you. This is from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. He beautifully says you become what you eat. So, if the world is suffering from this food insecurity issues, whatever they eat, they become that. If they are eating from the space of scarcity and feeling that they are left out, they're not being given enough, they become that. It just affects their consciousness. The violence-based food and life-negative, chemical-based toxic food both harm the system equally. Organic vegetarian food is not just give the health. It gives you an inner space, physical system, and psychological flow to develop the highest psychology. To develop highest psychology, not only your physical system, even your physiological flow needs to cooperate. Swamiji beautifully shares, your brain is constructed for all of these higher things. When you don't explore the higher things, you are bound to feed the lower things and keep your brain engaged for survival. If you don't explore the higher dimensions of consciousness, you will force yourself into drugs and try to explore the hallucination, imaginary, illusory dimensions of the universe. The human body is naturally designed for vegetarian food. The inner mechanisms like feeling, thinking, words, everything is designed to function with vegetarian food. It is like having a generator which can handle only 220 volt or a UPS which can handle only 220 volt current. But it is given 20,000 volt current. What will happen? It will simply get fused. The food without anxiety, fear, depression, biomemories, if they are consumed by a person, the energy with which they think, the energy with which they utter the words, the energy with which they act, the energy with which they feel, everything will be aligned to nature, which is the inner potential energy. Kailasa's Annalaya, spearheaded by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness, Swamiji, offers free organic vegetarian sattvic meal for one and all in the sole motive of eliminating hunger from the world. It is not just giving any food, but giving free organic vegetarian food that helps them to build the consciousness and eliminate hunger. So when you eliminate hunger, you become what you eat, whatever space with which you are consuming the food, what food you consume, it really matters. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism not just provides the free organic, not just provides food, but it is a free organic vegetarian sattvic meal for one and all, eliminating hunger and building the consciousness for one and all. The developmental, economic, social, and medical impacts of malnutrition and famine have an critical impact on the individual, familial, community, national, and ultimately on the global level. United Nations have been giving warnings of famines of biblical proportions. In 2020 alone, 690 people were estimated to be pushed into food insecurity. The access and availability to organic food has become of utmost importance. Kailasa's Annalayas, the food bank established all across the globe, distributes and serves free organic vegetarian food for people of all caste, creed, religion, race, gender, and social distancing. The Red Dome, one of the international agencies established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, providing relief work for natural and man-made calamities, working to eliminate the world hunger. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism personally organizing the relief efforts and free organic food distribution. For Thane flood relief in Pondicherry region in India in 2012. Swamiji beautifully shared. We will revive the food supply system of Kailasa. Before you get hungry, food will be ready. Continuous Annadan. I am not giving any fantasy. It has already become a reality. Kailasa has served more than 1 billion meals. Especially it is organic, free, sattvic vegetarian food to one and all, to eliminate hunger and raise their consciousness through food. So this food distribution effort is not a matter of 1 or 2 years. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has started this right from 2002, where you can see the pictures of early days of Kailasa's spiritual mission, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, he himself personally offering the Annadan, providing a free organic vegetarian meal on the occasion of Kartigai Devam in Tiruvannamalai.
And one can see here one very unique aspect of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which is continuous tireless work. One can see here in this picture with his right hand bandaged because of a surgery that was done after he had a multiple compound fracture with the bones protruding out of the skin. And the surgery happened to remove the plates which were put in the hand, the metal plates to join the bones. Right after that, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, not taking the time to take any kind of a break or a rest, but jumping right back in to his mission, which is serving humanity. Free food, Annadan. Here we can see a very touching example of the same. Here we can see on 3rd Jan 2012, Pondicherry, Thane flood relief. The whole state of Pondicherry way back in 2012 was impacted by a very severe cyclone, codenamed Thane. As soon as the state was hit by this natural disaster, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the peacekeepers of Kailasa, the monks and nuns of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa, all rushed to the aid of the people of this state of Puducherry. One can see here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving free food, Annadan, which is not only food in its material sense, but his whole love, compassion, energy blessings to the people of Puducherry. Literally every person, every district, every village was touched as the peacekeepers of Kailasa served at Puducherry for over a month. And he gave glimpses of the same day and night, the peacekeepers of Kailasa working to make hot, sattvic, vegetarian food, and not only cooking and serving people at the camp, at the disaster relief camp of Kailasa, but also having vehicles to reach out to each and every district and village and town, and day and night serving the people who are already grief stricken with the natural disaster that had impacted them. So, reaching out to them, giving them solace in the form of free food as well as free spiritual counseling, and supporting them to rebuild their life. The Anadan, the free food initiatives, being one of the many, many social, humanitarian, spiritual services being offered by the citizens and the peacekeepers of Kailasa, by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself, exactly in line with the Veda Agamic injunctions, which is produce a lot of food and share with everyone. This is what was explained, revealed, elaborated on by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism way back when he was elucidating on the Veda Agamas, Annam Bahukurvita. He has explained the significance of this in very many ways. And as a true leader, as a true spiritual head, he did not stop with just explaining in principle what it is, but also went on to show in example, by his very own example.
So you can see on 25th of November 2005, during the Arogya Yoga Health Workshop, you can see how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism personally serving millions of people with the organic free sattvic meal. Then you have on 2007 Nityananda Spurana meditation workshop, you can see a huge gathering. So not only did the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism empower them with the life solutions of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, he also empowered them with the vegetarian lifestyle, the importance of vegetarian lifestyle, and showed how you can build your consciousness based on what you eat. So throughout the 26 years, you can find the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working towards eliminating hunger and food insecurity issues of the world through various programs and various gatherings, promoting vegetarian. And this is from 2017 Inner Awakening Meditation Workshop in Tiruvannamalai. This is from Kalpataru Meditation Workshop 2017, 10th of April. From 2016, Bandara feast served for the respected spiritual leaders and Hindu monks of Adi Kailasa. This is from 2016, Kalpataru Meditation Workshop, Adi Kailasa. This is from 2017, Arunachala Sarvangapeetham, Tiruvannamalai in India. This is from Tiruchengodu Sarvangapeetham in 2019. This is from 2019. Annadan distributed during the Guru Purnima, the traditional celebration of Guru in Kailasa in Houston. This is from 2016 when Sadashivoham meditation workshop was conducted from Adi Kailasa. Even during the COVID-19 crisis, you can see Annadan services being continued by the Kailasa Madurai in India during May 30th, 2020. Now let us watch this video, very interesting video, as a proof of necessity of the Annadan. On the first segment, we saw how the world is suffering with food insecurity during this COVID-19 period. And on the other hand, you can see how Swamiji not only working towards eliminating hunger, but rather building this consciousness of people by solving these hunger issues by doing the Annadan. So now let us see the proof of necessity for Annadan, just a comparative analysis of the situation that happened in Bengal famine of 1943.
Said greatly aggravated.
Churchill is a hero and one of the greatest Britons of all time. But in a colony he once presided over, many point to a dark legacy.
He might be an icon in Britain, but in India, he is seen actually as the precipitator of mass killing because of the policies that he advocated and the policies that he followed in Bengal in 1943.
At the heart of the anger against him, a famine in Bengal. It was triggered by a cyclone and flooding. But many blame Winston Churchill and his government for making the situation worse. It's a painful chapter in India's colonial history. Only a few surviving images show the horror of hunger. Those who didn't die in villages went to cities in search of food. Every day, bodies had to be removed from Kolkata streets. At least 3 million died, more than 6 times the British Empire's casualties in World War II, raging at the same time. Chittakumar Shamonto has lived through it.
আমাকেও অনাহারে আমার ফ্যামিলিকে কাটাতে হয়েছে এবং কঙ্কাল সার দেহ মানুষের সেই অবস্থা দেখলে ভয় লাগে একটা মানুষকে দেখলে যে মানুষ না এটা প্রেতাত্মা খাল পাড় দিয়ে রাস্তায় অনেক ডেড বডি মানে মরা দেহ পড়ে থাকতো কুকুরে টেনে ছিঁড়ে খাচ্ছে শুকুনে ছিঁড়ে খাচ্ছে এরকম আমাদেরকে ব্রিটিশ সরকার না খেয়ে না খাইয়ে মারার চেষ্টা করেছে
British troops had been forced to retreat from Burma by the Japanese, and fearing they could also invade Bengal, anything that could aid the enemies, like food stocks and boats, were seized or destroyed. Actor Shoumitro Chatterjee was 8 when the famine struck.
Well, I do
Let you all open all your three eyes.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. Direct spiritual support. And we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Kailasians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. Science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. Kailas enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. we need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are. Because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the total.
And welcome back. We were just seeing various aspects, facets of Annadan, the great humanitarian service and spiritual service, which is offered by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. Let us now see some of the revelations to the world by Devi Parashakti. 12th May of this year, Devi revealed, I came as Nijavatara. I am blessing you. Listen. People, listen. To do good to all of you. I have taken the form of Nityananda and come down as Nijavatara. People of India, listen. Carefully listen. Time after time, Bharatam is Jnana Bhumi, where enlightened beings come. We cannot make Jnana Bhumi as infertile. Enlightenment beings have to come. They have to live. It has to flower. Few hypocrites, because they are stuck in delusion. We cannot sacrifice the world. Cosmos cannot be destroyed. The ship I did to save cosmos from being destroyed, that is called Adi Kailasa. The ship I did to protect beings from Pralaya is Adi Kailasa. Because of conspiracy of Drohis and enemies' rule, the captain has to leave the ship. Before 12 years, knowing the great deluge that is going to happen, all Aushadhas, by this Guru Purnima, that Jnana Rasavadam, Navapashana, is going to flower. Allow people to come and take dip in Navapashana flower. People, whoever comes and dip in Vaidyasarovar, they will not have deaths. They will not have corona. Crores and crores of people will come in line. Every day they will come and dip in Ananda Lingam. Listen well to my words. For India, I made ship as Nityananda Navapashana Lingam in Vaidyasarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa. O Indians, listen. All those regretting losing Nityananda Nijavatara without confusion and without talking just as lip service, go to Adi Kailasa. Crores of people will come there looking for health, Navapashana water feast and medicine to get health and protection and enlightenment. To protect India from the great destruction, I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if captain is not there, ship is there. That was just a glimpse into some of the revelations of Devi Parashakti in the Akashic readings about the corona pandemic and how India is going to face the same. With the onset of the third wave of the COVID-19, when first world countries are closing their borders during this massive global emergency, Kailasa is the only nation that has opened its doors to all without exception. the free COVID care centers have been opened across India, various Kailasas across India, which are providing this facility to one and all, include Adi Kailash in Biddi, Bangalore, Salem Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Tiruvannamalai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Rajapalayam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Puduvai Adinam in Pondicherry, Pattanam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Siragapadi Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Sripuram Adinam in Hyderabad, Madurai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Avattipalayam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Hosur Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Baroda Adinam in Gujarat. So one can see here almost a dozen free COVID care centers being opened in all the Kailasas across India, the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa in India. One can see Kailasa, how it is rushing to aid as India finds itself on the verge of the COVID-19 third wave. Multiple free COVID care centers being opened across India, various humanitarian services being offered during this pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India, spiritual services offered during pandemic in Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies across India, and very at the core of this whole services, the great spiritual support of the cosmic revelations on the global pandemic. The free humanitarian services offered during the pandemic in de facto spiritual embassies across India include medical care in the form of allopathy, siddha, Ayurvedic, naturopathy medicines, the infrastructure to accommodate thousands of people who are coming to avail themselves of the COVID care protection facilities, accommodation in the form of multi-layered quarantine facility, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been reminding us time and again, including as recent as the last few hours, when he kept exhorting people to protect themselves in the multi-layer quarantine facility, because that is the only way in which one can save one's life, which is extremely critical. As Bhagavan explained, the life, the consciousness in every being is completely priceless. It is incomparably priceless with relation to anything which is not real, like even the money system or the economy. To save one's life till the end of this year is the only important thing, only priority, as Devi Parashakti also revealed. So for anyone who wants to avail of this COVID care protection facility because of the multi-layer quarantine facility provided, the Kailasas across India are preparing accommodation for the thousands of people who would be pouring in to the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa across India. Also being enabled and ready for medical emergencies by having ICU on wheels, having emergency ambulances ready, personal protective medical equipment being provided to all who come to Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, food security management through food banks being done to address one of the very significant problems in this pandemic, which is food insecurity, and organic farming so as to enable annadan of organic, sattvic, nutritious food to one and all. So these are some of the humanitarian services being offered in this pandemic by Kailasa in all its de facto spiritual embassies across India, which have opened their doors in the form of COVID care protection centers. So let's register ourselves at kailasa.org/kailasa kailasa.org/Kailasa care.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Nityanandam. And how now we can see a glimpse of the preparation at the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa across India, specifically at Adi Kailasa now. The groceries collected for the Annadana, as one can see, a number of bags of rice, grains, groceries collected and kept ready to be able to serve the people, the Annadan. And here one can see Ayurvedic, Sattvic, vegetarian food being given to the residents and the people who have come to avail of the COVID Care Protection Center at Adi Kailasa. One can see here Kailasa's Department of Housing. The citizens, the Adinivasis of Adi Kailasa, continued working around the clock in organizing the storage of the groceries, as one can see here, blissful, happy faces of the monks of the Sovereign Order of Kailasa at Adi Kailasa, organizing the groceries, cleaning the jaggery, carrying the groceries, and doing the arrangements to have a large-scale storage facility for the food so that it can be kept safely and it is available over the months to come to serve humanity. One can see here the banana plantation in Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapitham. Here, these banana plants are grown, and in the effort to make the Adi Kailasa and similarly other Kailasas across India having similar such organic farming and plantations in an effort to drive self-sustainability and having the lifestyle of produce a lot and grow a lot and share with all as per Annam Bahupurvita, the spiritual injunction of the Veda Agamas, all these being cultivated in the multi-layered quarantine facility. And here one can see a number of glimpses of the Kailasa's Department of Agriculture, where one can witness vertical gardening and de-weeding through natural means and nourishing the soil, cleaning up, generating natural compost, and doing all the necessary agricultural procedures, requirements through the principles, along keeping in mind the principles and implementing the fundamental principles of non-violence, ahimsa, so that even the agriculture is done in what Bhagavan says, with an attitude of pro-life. So one can see here only natural fertilizers and nourishment agents being used for the organic farming at Adi Kailasa, and every inch of the space being utilized organic for the vertical, in the form of vertical gardening. And here one can see the Adinavasis, the citizens, the residents of Adi Kailasa working in full swing to help facilitate the requirements related to the accommodation facility, the housing facility for the hundreds and hundreds of people who are already coming and pouring in for protection from the COVID-19 pandemic. And so various spaces across the Adinam being cleared up so that every inch can be used to provide accommodation facility for the people. And we also have, very importantly, the Kailasa's Department of Health supporting this whole initiative, because with the third wave of COVID as it's hitting the world, the medical and the emergency response team have already upped their actions and their plans. Each individual who is coming into the COVID Care Protection Center being guided through various natural protection mechanisms to boost the immunity of oneself in the form of various techniques, including providing herbal kashayams, doing this steam inhalation before meal, and receiving their dietary supplements so that the vitamins and the minerals in the body are ensured, and thereby the immunity of the body is improved so as to protect oneself from any possibility of infections and from the corona pandemic. The organic sattvic meals also include a very balanced mix of components so that the health of each and every one is taken care of. And this was just one glimpse into one of the various dimensions of services being provided by Kailasa. If you would like to register yourself for this COVID Care Protection Center in India, we can register now through the link https://kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. So with this, we'll move on to the next segment of the program. Thank you, Nityanandan.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadushnam Tattamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing life. Playing with being alive.
It's directly beautifully Bhagavan explained how the power manifestation is being alive and manifesting whatever you say as reality. The science of power manifestation, science, it is because it is repeatable and it is doable for each one of us. That is why it is science. Science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. And the evidences here are listed. The Shastra Pramana, evidences from the scriptures, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. Apta Pramana, experience in the results of the Aptas, the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas, all of them are authority of Hinduism, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva, which is authentic, time-tested and scientific. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of each power manifestation, Bhagavan's very own Leelas. Bhagavan has beautifully manifested all the powers as per the Shastra Pramana. Shakshi Pramana, experience of millions of disciple, devotees, followers all around the world, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva, initiated by Bhagavan himself into the science of power manifestation. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. The thoughtless space, Bhagavan beautifully says, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard, I myself will manifest in each one of them all the abundance and all the auspicious, making them manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. Each one of us are blessed to experience this oneness space, the deep meditative space, and manifest as our reality as Paramashiva. And let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana are the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. This is the scriptural reference for the power of length dimension. This is from Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.19. Shakti Sandhane Shariropatihi. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, by aiming and fixing the self on Shakti, uniting in oneness with the supreme power, the embodiment of that which is cognized and willed, manifests at once the length, breadth, depth, time and space. Have a science lab or a math lab, you have the step-by-step process for getting the conclusion result. And same way, Bhagavan gives us a beautiful all the powerful cognition for us to get a cognitive shift. How? When you go to a humor club, you laugh because something beyond the mind, the logic, somebody says a joke and you laugh at it. That is because something beyond the mind, logic that you experience. Same way, each of the power manifestation is beyond your mind because you're going to experience infinity. Infinity cannot be smaller than your mind. Then the mind is part of that infinity, not the infinity can be understood by the mind. Bhagavan beautifully says, by aiming and fixing the self on Shakti, Bhagavan today greatly gave the powerful cognition for us to experience the oneness. And he said so beautiful, whatever the Guru eats and the Uchishta that you can have, that is when you do the Naivedyam, the Prasada, and whatever the puja you do for Guru Paduka, and the water that you can receive as nectar itself, and how you experience the Guru's Mahavakya, the Ajapa Japa inside you, and the Guru form itself as you, continuously holding these four, the is much higher than the moksha itself, being in that eternal space of oneness, aiming and fixing the self on Shakti. That's what Bhagavan clearly gives us to understand what we need to do to experience consciousness. We are not the body, we are the body also. We are the mind also. But we are stuck with these two, not knowing how to get out of this and all the struggles that we are going through. And Bhagavan gives a very simple method. Just be in this presence of Guru's presence continuously, Paramashiva's presence, that you are Paramashiva, and continuously manifest Paramashiva through every action that he is manifesting. Like you say, everything you do as Bhagavan's Arpanam, that you surrender to Bhagavan, that whatever is happening for each and everything, as per Agama, even if you drink water, a cup of water, you offer to Lord Shiva and then take it. All the great truth that when we start living continuously as Paramashiva, we will start merging into Paramashiva space and become in oneness. How the bee happens is the worm continuously feels the bee will come and eat it and keeps watching the bee continuously. It becomes a bee and it starts flying. The whole science is what you keep thinking, you become that. And when you keep thinking Paramashiva, you become Paramashiva. Constantly what you cherish your Guru, continuously holding Swamiji, continuously holding Bhagavan in your inner space. You manifest Bhagavan himself as your reality. That is the aiming and fixing the self on Shakti and uniting in oneness with the supreme power. Again and again, realizing you are Paramashiva, that is manifesting as your body, that is manifesting as the whatever is offered in front of you as prasada, for you to experience that oneness. Again and again, that which is cognized, like how you know already the colors, the shapes, the numbers, letters, whatever in the world, outer world. Same way, if you cognize this as your reality, then you hold the will persistent till it becomes real, that this is the only ultimate reality that I want to experience. That which is willed is not something you experience and then say this is correct. You first manifest it in your inner space that this is what is happening as a reality, and then you see in the outer world manifestation continuously happen. So that which is willed manifest at once you cognize and you're able to hold that cognition, simply it becomes at once as your reality. All the dimensions simply starts manifesting in your reality. Let's see the Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas. All of them experience the great powers. Srinivasa Ramanuja. And one of the toughest thing is to believe that we can download even the math and solve math problems just by download. Here, Srinivasa Ramanuja was the first Indian mathematician who lived during the British rule in India. Though he had almost no formal training or in pure mathematics, he has made the substantial contribution to the mathematics world. Whether it is analytical, it's a functional, it is the problem solution or anything, completely he was a man of infinity. And the man who knew the infinity was the book name and the chapter 5, that the goddess of Namakkal. And he says very beautifully, an equation for me has no meaning. He has no idea what it is unless it is expressed thought of God, Devi. And she was the one who's revealed all the truth for him. And beautifully how he experienced all that just by oneness, whether it is Einstein, Newton, or all of them have just done all the discoveries, all the scientific breakthrough only by just download. There was no formula book that they can prescribe for the discoveries. None of them, all of them clearly said it's a download. And that is what makes you an extraordinary being, for you to experience the oneness. What you earn for deeply, the cosmos simply opens up the reality and just downloads in you. Bhagavan says the plan simply reveal itself to you. That's how the Siddhas understood the greater science. They did not have any formal education, or they did not have a scientific lab to learn all these things. That is a Western way of looking at it. Bhagavan beautifully says how the Balasans just download, and many times we have had the SAT exam, the CAT exam, the IIT JEE exam, all of them, they just were able to master by downloading. Even the simple pi, they did not know, some of them, because they were too young. But simply they were able to download and they solve the problems. The Mensa questions, they were not only able to answer the questions, they were able to write the questions also when we told the page number. So to the extent that we can see that simply downloading information is a possibility in all of us to experience the oneness with Paramashiva. How does it help me in experiencing oneness with Paramashiva and manifesting auspiciousness? Each of our block, the length dimension, is all the verbalization that we are caught up in. Once we clear that, simply our energy starts manifesting and the more and more clarity starts happening in us. Here Bhagavan beautifully explains the conscious space.
Can you also give me some signs to distinguish between reality and fantasy?
Nidhi, first thing you need to know, whatever you understand as reality, the dimensions like a size, shape, quality, your association of good and bad with it, all that, even one quality does not exist in objective reality. Please understand. If you think this is wall, this is not wall. Whatever you understand, why this wall, what this wall does, how it looks, what it is, who built, is it good for me, bad for me, all concepts you have about the wall is not there actually on the wall. So in a way I can say there is no such thing as objective reality and there is something called objective reality. There is no such thing as objective reality is also true. There is objective reality is also true. Understand? I tell you there is no such thing as objective reality because anything you see, you perceive, does not exist as you perceive. And I tell you there is objective reality. Well, you know, because you may be liberated from this wall, but the other person who is not liberated will continue to see this wall as objective reality. Because of that, I tell objective reality exists. But I tell you, for you, objective reality does not exist. So the right truth, objective reality does not exist for you, but the objective reality exists for the objects you see in objective reality. But as the objective reality does not exist for you itself, how can the objects you see in the objective reality can be objective reality for you? As the objective reality perceived by you itself is not reality, how can the objective reality perceived by the objects which you perceive in the objective reality can be objective reality for you? Listen to the statement again. as the objective reality.
Sorry, there was a technical glitch that I did not hear. I was saying how the body itself doesn't exist, how the body can see something that exists. The body can see only if the body exists. If the body itself doesn't exist, the way you perceive it, it's not there. When you dream, it's not that your mother is disappearing when you wake up. She's there in a different form, but in a dream, it was completely different. She might have been a very young girl or something completely different scene. But now you see her in completely different form. So what you saw in the dream is not the reality. When you wake up, you know it. Same way Bhagavan is saying, how you perceive your body itself is wrong, and how your wall can be correct. The wall is the way you perceive is also from the body which is perceiving the wall. So we need to understand the greater truth, how we exist and who we are, how we can experience the higher reality. To understand that, we will understand how we can project the world as we want. Beautifully Bhagavan explains here.
Which you perceive itself is not an objective reality for you, then how can the objects you perceive in the objective reality can have the objective reality which you perceive as the objective reality, which is not the objective reality? So, what you know as reality is nothing but the perversion of your fantasy. What you know as fantasy is nothing but the perversion of your reality. When you go beyond what you know as reality and fantasy, you see yen reality, which is yen reality.
So beautiful. Bhagavan explained how it is a fantasy and how we perceive others from that fantasy as our reality is also completely all fantasies and a perversion of ourselves to believe this is the truth. Now let's listen to the Shakshi Pramana. Bhagavan has beautifully manifested through all the balasans in the courtyard, which the two doctors from USA are experiencing that, and they are sharing that testimonial.
To give you a little background, in my early career, I spent time doing research at an academic center, training medical students, internal medicine residents, and rheumatology fellows. Over the last 12 years, I've practiced private practice rheumatology, and I'm a very busy rheumatologist. Just to give you an idea of who is now looking at this science. Yesterday, we had one of the most amazing experiences, and we're truly blessed by Swamiji to experience what Ramanujan experienced when the Mukur Mahalakshmi bestowed upon him this gift of math. The last 2 days, we've played with our balasans and given them very complicated math compounding factors and trigonometry, and their answers are accurate again and again, to the point where when our answer is incorrect, we now look at our calculator and redo our calculation, because most likely we've punched the wrong button, not that they have it wrong. Now, having understood this, yesterday, Ma Pragnana happened to find herself on a team with 2 physicians. So you can see now where my thought process is leading. We looked at her and we said, we know that they can give us all kinds of complicated math answers and distances and whatnot, but can this science, even in the length dimension, go a step further? So we decided to give her medical questions. Now, she looked at us first with awestruck eyes with, what are these people going to do to me? And so we decided to give her first a simple medical question, or what we thought was a simple medical question. We gave her this. For a patient who suffers from an uncomplicated urinary tract infection by the organism E. coli, what would be the treatment? And she looked at and then started to write frantically. Now, mind you, both Dr. Saraswati and I were thinking we would get back an antibiotic. We gave her a pen even when she looked initially at us because we thought she wouldn't be able to pronounce the antibiotic. We thought it may be easier for her to write down the name of the antibiotic. When she started to write frantically, we both stood over her notebook to see what she was writing. And this is what she wrote. Step 1, first test the urine for an infection. Step 2, make sure that the patient drinks plenty of fluids. Step 3, give the patient adequate glucose support. Now this from a balasant who has no medical background and is so much more accurate.
People are studying medicine.
We had to step back and think about how we're doing things. Now, of course, our wheels are turning. Next thing we know is we're starting to come up with all kinds of questions for her because we have to rethink how we're doing things. We have to look at medicine again. This is finally happening for medicine. An unbiased, unprecedented event in medicine is happening in our day and age.
Beautifully, Bhagavan has shown us the pramanas, and again, all the pramanas again and again prove that how we can manifest the powers of Paramashiva just by simply download. Bhagavan, when he was in the womb, and Abhirami Andadi, he was able to download when he was a very small kid. When he was in the womb, he heard that, and he was able to download when he was born, and as a child of 2-3 years, he was able to download the full Abhirami Andadi, not by learning from anyone, but just downloading what he heard when the mother, when she was pregnant, was listening to. Simply the science, we now have proven science, how a mother doesn't know the language, but if the child keeps learning something in the womb, that language can be spoken by the child very easily at a very young age, even though the mother does not know the language. So all these are proven science now. One by one, the science is clearly telling us how we can experience as beyond the body, as beyond the what we understand as body. Body is not something to leave the body and go somewhere. How in the sleep we are not leaving the body and going somewhere. We are in a different state of consciousness. Same way when we are in deep sleep, when we are in coma, when we are in dream, we are in different states of consciousness. And same way we can experience the Paramashiva space also, which is the quantum space, the Turiya space. Once we experience Turiya space, Bhagavan beautifully says, I can pull you into the Turiya Atita, which is the enlightened space. Constantly when we experience the thoughtlessness, we start manifesting that as our reality. That we understand that Paramashiva manifests as our reality. Suddenly we feel like $1 trillion kid. We can experience all that oneness and manifest as any of the powers. And beautifully, the oneness starts manifesting as reality. Now, let's get the camera on. And if you have the Jnananjan, apply your Jnananjan on third eye and your temples. And you can randomly select some questions, or you can have a partner and you can have some questions selected for you, and they can give you the questions. You can see through your third eye. If you have a Krishtashila, which is a granite slab, or you have a banyan leaf or a mirror or yantra, and if you have the Jnananjan in your Kantamala, you can apply on that what you have learned before in your inner awakening or in any of the programs. You can use that also to see the download which needs to be happening. So simply Bhagavan will download through all these things as reality. And simply when we connect to the Paramashiva space, whatever he downloads, start downloading and don't think, oh, this is about my problem. This is not about the formula. Do not judge anything. Just keep writing. Just keep writing. Suddenly you will have a breakthrough that the perfect answer starts appearing. That is how all the Balasans, just first they declare, they can see it, they can do it, they know it, and it happens. So it is the other way around. We think we have to first get it and then only we'll approve that we can manifest powers. No, we are manifesting. We are already enlightened. Nobody has to prove it. All we need to do is recognize it. Bhagavan beautifully says, a master is there to simply tell you, hey, you are wearing your glasses, it's on your eyes. And then we realize, oh yeah, yes, it is there. That is exactly how the power manifestation is. By nature, we are manifesting everything. If we understand by nature how we exist, we'll be manifesting all the realities. So let's connect to Bhagavan. Let's go to the instruction. Let's sit straight into the deep meditation space of oneness with Paramashiva. Bring Paramashiva, Parashakti in your third eye. Bhagavan beautifully gave the powerful cognition, darshan, initiation, and beautiful space for us on the yoga day. So let's hold that now and experience that oneness with Paramashiva. Absolute unclutching from everything that we know as our reality, and complete completion, whatever. How can I get the pain off? How can I get the problems off? First thing, understand it does not exist. When you have the same problem and pain in the dream, when you wake up, do you go to hospitals? No. Same way, for few minutes, let go everything and let it be in the guest room till you come back out of the meditation. Declare very clearly, consciously, I am entering into Paramashiva space. Me and Paramashiva, that's all I know. And only Guru Padaka I can see. Only surrendering to Guru Padaka is all I assume and all I want. And when the earning starts and simply a new definition of you, dimension of you opens up as reality, that manifests as powers, the thoughtless space. Chanting the Mahavakya continuously and entangling with Bhagavan beautifully opens up into the higher science so beautifully. And each of us can experience the oneness with Paramashiva, Parashakti, Bhagavan's beautiful gesture, blessing, initiation, powerful cognition, the smile, all the things that he's holding, his jewels, his attire, his whole way of holding himself, the Padmasana, everything you can just enjoy and continuously hold the powerful cognition, the verbalization and visualization as only Paramashiva. Deeply get connected to him and forget everything else, including your own body. Just merge, how in the deep sleep you merge into a space of oneness. And same way, if you do it, that is called samadhi. In a waking state, that is all we need to experience. So all we need to do is chant the Mahavakya, remember Paramashiva, contemplate only on the words of Paramashiva, and whatever Paramashiva reveals, Swamiji reveals, start writing down all the details. And at the end of this cycle, we can verify the detail, whether the length questions, what is asked, is the same thing answer which got downloaded. Even few words that you downloaded, that is beautiful. You can start sharing in the chat or Facebook, wherever you are. And then we'll have one more cycle. So let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Let's sit straight, continuously hold the oneness space, Shakti Pada, and only be in the sweet place of Paramashiva and chant the Mahavakya continuously so that you can hear it. Please put away your phones and everything, all the gadgets. Only be residing in Paramashiva space, continuously listening to the chanting that you are doing and holding the oneness space with Paramashiva. Let's start the length dimension power.
Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda
Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced as prasada, Bhagwan, whatever He has given you, please verify authentically those words and those formulas or those definitions, discoveries, inventions, whatever you have mentioned. Please either Google it or check with your partner. It's authentically correct. And if you've got some of them is correct or you feel just the Kundalini energy, that's beautiful. You can experience that oneness with Paramashiva by sharing with the world. At the end of the next cycle, we'll do that. Again and again, surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet. How do I do that? I don't know what to surrender. Then surrender that also to Bhagavan's lotus feet. We have no idea. The mind cannot understand that which is to be cognized. That we have to understand. And only if we understand, we will simply surrender our idea about ourselves and what to surrender, what is right, what is wrong. When you know that he is Paramashiva, and simply if you surrender, you are raising more and more into consciousness. Bhagavan beautifully says, when you fall in love with God, Paramashiva himself, Swamiji himself, who has come down as an avatar for us to be liberated from this human and experience the superconscious space, simply we need to surrender the identity that we hold, that we think that exists. As human, it's okay, but to experience the next level of consciousness, surrendering this passport will make us get the next level of experience and next level of manifestation. The identity, the Aadhaar card we have, or the passport that we have to be completely surrendered. What you know as you need to be surrendered. And if you surrender that, you will understand what it is you actually, and who is it you actually. That is what Bhagavan says. You recognize the higher space. You understand that you are the ultimate. You are the consciousness. And you are Paramashiva. And simply Bhagavan says, when I went and saw who's Arunagiri Yogeshwara, I saw myself there. And clearly Bhagavan says, I can see only Arunagiri Yogeshwara in me. Other than him, I don't know what I am. And you can ask any of the great avatars. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, other than Kali, he doesn't know who he is. Ramanamashi says, other than Arunachala, they don't know who they are. And simply they become absorbed in the higher science, and they become the reality, and they can manifest anything and everything once they understand the higher science. They become the quantum, the frequency instead of the body and the mind, and they become the consciousness which is observing everything which is happening. That's what Bhagavan says beautifully. That we cannot forget, that we cannot remember, but that remembers you. That is what we experience in the deep sleep, and that is eternal. Understanding this and going further deep, inquiring yourself into this more and more deeper, you'll understand even the death and birth cycle is a fantasy. It is only the mind which goes through all this. You exist beyond that, and recognizing that and feeling the oneness, that manifests as your reality. Now for a few minutes, let's go into the deep space of oneness to realize that and be with Paramashiva to manifest whatever the question that we have, the answers, and simply write down. What is the point of writing all these questions? These are just to see how you are complete. Only the cognition shift that happens in you manifest as powers. Once you understand that simply Paramashiva in you can manifest reality, and I do not have to do anything other than surrender myself, the identity, and simply keep writing down whatever answer he gives. Simply he will give the right answer also every time correctly. So go ahead and just keep noting down whatever the questions that you have, either from your partner or from Google. Write the questions clearly and start meditating on that, the Paramashiva space in you, and simply whatever Devi Parashakti reveals, write down the answers and see if it matches exactly. Please write the questions which you don't know the answers and see how beautifully Devi can manifest, and the thought clicks in you. Absolutely correct. So let's start chanting the Mahavakya. Sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Again and again, bring Paramashiva in your third eye. Manifestation starts from your third eye. So to start manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva, just by chanting the Mahavakya, continuously remembering the form of Paramashiva, Bhagavan himself, entangling with the form, remembering the form and chanting the Mahavakya will make us manifest all the powers. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya.
Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Ananda Paramashivam. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivam. Om Nityananda.
Beautifully, whatever Bhagavan has given as prasada, Please verify from both the cycles what Bhagwan has given you, what you have written down with the questions that you have, what answer was given, and is it matching correctly. Please share it in tinyurl.com/power manifestation. Even one line that you experience the oneness space, or you have some comments or suggestions or any of the beautiful sharing that you would like to do with a video or a picture that you have manifested the power of length dimension, please share it for the world to recognize the space of Paramashiva and bringing the so much of auspiciousness and abundance in them, experiencing they are Paramashiva. Again and again, when you share these great truths, you become that. Whatever you cherish, that is what you speak about. And what your words you are, you become that. So sharing is one of the simplest exercise where you start manifesting your reality as Paramashiva. If you see a $sign at the end of the chat, you can offer your gratitude to Paramashiva. All the Hindu temples have a hundi for offering their gratitude. First thing, we offer the gratitude to Paramashiva because end times he showers on us every time we offer that space of Paramashiva as our reality. The more we recognize the higher space that we are, the more we are out of the problems and all the happenings that we are going through. And simply we can manifest all the higher signs and reality by offering these things, by sharing your experience that you are Paramashiva, offering to Kailasa, contributing to Kailasa, simply will make you manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. So thanking Bhagwan deeply and asking Bhagwan to manifest Paramashiva as your existential reality. Surrender all the powerful cognition and power manifestation to Bhagwan's lotus feet. Every time when you experience the higher state of consciousness, keep surrendering to Bhagwan's lotus feet. Bhagwan says you go more deeper and deeper and your Kailasa simply happens. And thank each one of you here participating in this session today. Each one of you manifesting so much of space of Paramashiva is so auspicious and abundance. So thank you so much. And let's thank Bhagwan and end the session with a Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you so much. See you after the next satsang or next darshan in Kailash Koti and Manifesting Power session. Again, just reminding you, the Zoom session will be available through eKailasha login at 6 p.m. today. Thank you, Nityananda.